Hello folks, in this video we will discuss about an important feature in JavaScript often asked in technical interviews, and that is called closure. So we will see by an example. Let's first write a variable. I'll call it normal var, and here I will write a string. I am a normal var. Now I will write a function. Let's call this function as normal function, and inside this function I want to print out this normal var which I have declared outside the function. So now if I simply execute this function, what do you think the answer will be? Let's see. So as you can see, it is console logging I am a normal var, which is actually declared outside the function. So in short, this is called closures in JavaScript. So functions in JavaScript has access to variables that are declared outside of it. So this is called closure in short. So we will see by a more complex example, but first of all, let's try to do something else. So inside the function, let me declare another variable. I will call it special variable, and let's write a string. I am a special var. And now inside the function I can simply console log the special var, and it's getting I am a special var and then I am a normal var. But what about outside the function? If I try to console log the special var, I'm getting an error, and that is because this special var has only the scope within this function. It is not available outside the function, but any variable that we are declaring outside the function, it will be available inside the function also. So this is called closures in JavaScript, and this let is block scope, so it will not be having access to it. So let me simply remove these things. So now we will see a more complex example of closures. Let's write complex, and here we will write two functions. So I will first of all write one outer function, and inside I will write another inner function. So let's write inner function. And what I want to do over here, so let me simply console log few things. So in the outer function I will get an outer variable, and in the inner function I will get an inner variable, and inside the inner function I want to console log both outer var as well as the inner var. So whenever I am executing this function, outer function, I have to pass a variable. So let me just pass outer var, and now if I execute, let me just comment out these lines. Now when I execute I see nothing, and that is because this outer function is really not doing anything. It only has an inner function. So inside the outer function I have to call the inner function, and let's pass another variable. Let's call it inner var. Now when I execute I see outer var and inner var. So I actually have access to this outer variable inside this inner function. So this outer variable ideally is only present over here, but I am getting its access inside this inner function also. So this is a more complex example of closures, but you may be wondering that this is also not something that we generally use. So now I will show you one practical use case of closures where we are actually using it often without knowing. So I will comment out these lines also, and I will write one function using fetch. So if you want to learn about fetch, you can watch my video on fetch, because using fetch we will now fetch this OK API. So we have already done this before, so I'll simply copy the URL. I'll go back to my code, and here I will declare a URL, and let's paste this URL, and let's say in place of Tito I want data about Pikachu. Now I will create a function. Let's call this function get Pokemon data, and inside this function I will use fetch, and I will pass this URL that I have declared outside. So we are using closures over here, often without knowing, but from now on you'll be knowing that this thing is called closure. So now I will simply return our race.json, and then we will get our data, and I will simply console log data. So data, and then console log data, and now we can simply invoke our function, and we will get the info of Pikachu. So as you can see, we have abilities, base experience, and many things. So at the bottom we have types, and if I expand this one, we get the type as electric. So this is no doubt the info of Pikachu. So as you can see, this is a practical use case of closures. We use this many times. So yeah, that's it for this video, and bye bye.